Venezuela? Yes. The axis of evil? Yeah. hmm Now, as I remember it, the actual enemies of the United States, yes, was Hugo Chavez's Venezuela, yes, the North Koreans, that would be Kim Jong Un, yes, and Iraq, and what do you call them over there in Iraq? The Ayatollah Khomeini, yeah. Now that was back in the 70s or 80s. I don't know who the guy is that's running the. you know, for all the money we're spending to build up our military and a new branch of it, it seemed like we were going to have a war with somebody larger. Yes. Now, the last war we had, yes, the Iraqi conflict, yeah, Afghanistan. We had three major individuals in the axis of evil known as Venezuela, North Korea, and Iraq. Yes, or Iran. Yeah. And the thought was that somebody's really spending hundreds of billions of dollars to build a new branch of the military so that we can have one of these really, really, really big wars. Now, they make it sound like there's no equipment in the military. That the uniforms that they have are old and we need to replace them all. Every tank needs to be replaced, every ship and every airplane. and some reason, yes, we're going to war against Venezuela. Could you get me the people of Venezuela? Because the thought is that Venezuela as a government, yes, 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 should probably know that we're going to have a new branch of the military. Now let's see here. Juan Vincent Gomez between 1900 and 1935. There was a revolution in 1945. The Venezuelans overthrew the president, Isaias Medina Agarita. And then his rule was cruel and corrupt. Oh my gosh, he was a dictator in 1948. Now, the Cuban communists. Now, all of a sudden, Venezuela's going throughout all these Cuban. Oh, no, no, no. Well, and when you're spending that much money to fight a war, yes, obviously it's one of those in the axis of evil. Now, it we need to replace all the equipment. You know, in many ways, when I think about the government spending, pooch, it really makes me happy as an American citizen. See, I agreed to purchase every used item of the United States military for 10%, yes, of the actual purchase price so that I could surplus all the military's items. Now, I'm somewhat happy that the new Secretary of the Department of Defense and Congress has appropriated $320 billion, yes, to completely replace every item in the U.S. military. But for me, an American citizen that happens to be in the surplus business, yeah, let's say you wanted a used Army uniform. Oh, why don't you get me the receipts of every item that the military has purchased for the last 50 years? The actual purchase price of every item in the United States military that for some reason they're having to wear this old shit and drive around in old tanks and fly old planes and we have to replace all the stuff that they have. Now, this is going to open up a brand new market for any American citizen that did want to know how you can participate in the surplus of all the items that they no longer need. I know. It's really one of those good days for you. All those in the surplus military supply businesses. Why don't you call the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and National Guard? Find out when they're going to actually spend this appropriated amount of monies. Yeah. And then just get an idea of when they're not going to need the used items. See, as a citizen,